What if I told you the exact same person could walk into a bank and receive two completely different reactions? Not because of their character, intelligence, or work ethic, but because of how much money people think they have. At the bottom, rejection becomes familiar. Loan denied. Application rejected. Opportunity postponed. It often feels like the system was designed for everyone except you. But as wealth begins to grow, something strange happens. The same person who was once ignored suddenly becomes someone people want to help. Salesmen become friendlier. Landlords become more flexible. Bankers return your calls faster. The question is, did you change, or did their perception of you change? Today, we're breaking down how banks, landlords, and salesmen treat you at every wealth level and why money often changes the way the world responds to you. Level 1, $0, broke. At $0, the conversation is often over before it begins. The bank doesn't see potential, they see risk. For landlords, your application isn't a person. It's a credit score, an income statement, and a list of reasons to say no. Even salesmen treat you differently. When they think you can't buy, they stop investing their time. Another rejection letter. Another reminder that access to money becomes much harder when you need it the most. Rules suddenly become non-negotiable. At this level, exceptions are rarely made in your favor. The choices offered to you are often the leftovers, products, apartments, and opportunities nobody else wanted. Every denied application chips away at confidence. Eventually, you start expecting rejection before it even happens. When money disappears, stability often disappears with it. One missed payment can change everything. People who work on commission know where the money is. And unfortunately, they don't think it's with you. In the bank, you become invisible. Forms are processed slowly, questions go unanswered, and nobody seems eager to help. Late rent doesn't just create financial pressure. It changes the entire relationship between you and your landlord. Salesmen love showing expensive products. But when they know you can't afford them, the conversation quickly loses energy. Suspicion follows poverty. Sometimes people assume you're a problem long before you've done anything wrong. Every denied application sends the same message: come back when your financial situation looks better. When you're broke, even asking simple questions can make people treat you like you're wasting their time. The bank closes its doors, and you're left standing outside with the same problems you walked in with. Behind closed doors, people make assumptions. Most never learn your story, they only judge your circumstances. Landlords save the best properties for the strongest applicants. Everyone else gets what's left behind. The moment a salesman realizes you're not buying today, his attention often shifts somewhere else. And eventually, you walk away wondering if the system was ever designed to work for people starting from the bottom. Level 2, low income, struggling, $20,000 to $60,000. At this level, you're no longer automatically rejected. But approval often comes with conditions, limitations, and plenty of hesitation. The landlord accepts your application, but trust hasn't been earned yet. Every interaction feels like you're being tested. Salesmen acknowledge your presence now, but they still aren't treating you like a priority customer. Banks are willing to lend money, but usually at a price. The less financial security you have, the more expensive borrowing becomes. Landlords pay attention to every detail. One missed payment or complaint can quickly change their attitude. When money is tight, financing sounds attractive. And that's exactly why some salesmen push the deals that benefit them most. The paperwork gets signed, but nobody is celebrating. The bank sees you as a customer, not necessarily a success story. Repairs eventually happen, but rarely with urgency. At this level, convenience isn't something landlords rush to provide. The best offers often seem just out of reach. Instead, you're presented with options that sound good until you read the fine print. In many places, money buys speed. Customers with larger accounts get immediate attention while everyone else waits. The keys are yours, but the reminders never stop. Rules, warnings, and restrictions become part of the experience. Salesmen are polite enough, but the enthusiasm reserved for bigger buyers is noticeably absent. Unexpected fees hit hardest when every dollar already has a purpose. Financial mistakes become expensive lessons. Even small rent increases can create major stress when your budget is already stretched to its limit. The conversation feels rushed because, From their perspective, you're not the customer generating the biggest commission. You leave the bank with the money you needed, but also with the weight of another financial obligation. The apartment is decent enough, but reminders about your credit history make it clear that trust still has to be earned. Some offers are designed to solve problems. Others are designed to create profit. Knowing the difference becomes essential. Hours spent waiting become normal. At this level, your time often feels less valuable to the people serving you. You finally have a place to live and access to basic financial services, but you're still far from receiving VIP treatment. Level 3, middle class, $80,000 to $200,000. Once you reach the middle class, the tone of the conversation changes. You're no longer viewed as a financial risk, you're viewed as a reliable customer. Landlords become noticeably friendlier. Instead of questioning whether you'll qualify, they're focused on making a good first impression. Salesmen now give you their attention because there's a realistic chance you'll actually make a purchase. The bank manager smiles, offers coffee, and discusses options. Not because they've changed, but because your financial profile has. When maintenance issues appear, they're handled faster. Reliable tenants tend to receive better treatment. Instead of being shown the cheapest options, you're introduced to products that offer comfort, quality, and flexibility. For the first time, you're negotiating from a position of confidence rather than desperation. The relationship feels more balanced now. Both sides benefit, and both sides know it. Discounts start appearing because businesses recognize that keeping good customers is often more profitable than finding new ones. Inside the bank, you're treated like a valued client. Not a VIP, but certainly someone worth keeping happy. Landlords are eager to show you their best available units because qualified tenants are always in demand. The salesman takes his time. Questions are answered. Features are explained. The experience feels completely different. Bank employees become more helpful because your approval odds are strong and your business has value. Conversations with landlords become professional rather than confrontational. Trust replaces suspicion. When a salesman remembers your name, it isn't just friendliness. It's a sign that you're becoming an important customer. You leave the bank with approved documents and something even more valuable, financial credibility. Problems get resolved quickly because responsible tenants are assets landlords don't want to lose. You're now being offered products based on lifestyle and preference, not simply what you can afford. The confidence you feel walking through the bank comes from knowing you're finally playing the game on equal footing. At this level, respect becomes more common. Not because you've become a different person, but because your financial position has improved. Level 4, wealthy, $500,000 to $2 million. At this level, you're no longer just another customer. The bank manager knows your name before you even walk through the door. Luxury landlords don't try to convince you to qualify. They try to convince you to choose their property. Salesmen become remarkably attentive because they understand one thing: your time is valuable, and your purchases are significant. The experience changes completely. Private lounges, faster service, and dedicated support become part of everyday banking. Property managers no longer see you as a tenant. They see you as a client worth keeping happy. Instead of being shown what's available, you're shown the best options first. Businesses know exactly who they're dealing with. Interest rates improve, loan terms become flexible, and financial institutions start competing for your business. When viewing luxury properties, the experience feels more like a private presentation than a standard apartment tour. Special discounts, complimentary upgrades, and exclusive perks begin appearing without you even asking. Bank employees greet you differently. The respect feels automatic because your account commands attention. Luxury property staff focus on service because they understand the value of retaining high-income residents. Exclusive products that never appear in display windows suddenly become available behind closed doors. At this level, financial conversations become easier. The bank isn't questioning your ability to pay, they're asking how they can help. Landlords offer incentives, upgrades, and special accommodations because losing a client like you costs them money. When salespeople remember your preferences, it's because you're no longer making one-time purchases. You're building valuable relationships. Personal wealth advisors replace generic customer service. Your finances become important enough to deserve specialized attention. Every staff member in the building understands the importance of creating a premium experience. Luxury shopping stops feeling transactional. Businesses focus on making you feel appreciated, comfortable, and respected. The confidence isn't coming from the suit. It's coming from knowing that most doors now open before you even knock. Inside private meeting rooms, conversations revolve around opportunities, investments, and strategies for growing even more wealth. Level 5, $5 million plus. At $5 million and beyond, the relationship completely changes. You're no longer seeking access to opportunities are seeking access to you. Luxury property managers don't sell you a home. They compete for your attention, knowing one decision from you could be worth millions. Salesmen stop acting like salesmen. Their job becomes creating an experience worthy of someone with significant wealth. Private lounges, premium service, and personal attention become standard. Waiting in line becomes something that happens to other people. At this level, incentives become extraordinary. Businesses understand that winning your business can be incredibly valuable. The owner of the dealership personally appears because the products being discussed are no longer ordinary purchases. When you walk into the bank, the atmosphere changes. Staff know exactly who you are and exactly why you're important. Property owners offer perks, upgrades, and exclusive benefits because they know wealthy clients have endless options. Discounts become larger, service becomes faster, and access becomes easier. Wealth changes the rules of the game. When executives personally greet you, it's a reminder that influence often follows financial success. Every detail is designed to make you feel welcome because businesses understand the value of high net worth clients. Private tours replace public showrooms. The experience becomes tailored specifically around your interests and preferences. For the first time, it feels like the financial system is working for you instead of evaluating you. Real estate professionals don't just present properties. They work hard to prove why their property deserves your attention. Entire stores may dedicate private time to a single client because exclusivity itself has become part of the product. From above, the VIP entrances and private facilities reveal a reality most people never get to see. At this level, property owners often pursue wealthy buyers more aggressively than wealthy buyers pursue properties. Entire sales teams can focus their attention on one person because one decision can generate enormous revenue. The confidence isn't about money anymore. It's about knowing you have options, leverage, and influence almost everywhere you go. This is the highest level of treatment most people will ever witness. The doors open instantly, the service is exceptional, and the opportunities seem endless. Eventually, you reach a point where approval no longer matters. You stop chasing validation and start focusing on something far more valuable: freedom. Money can attract attention, opportunities, and respect. But it can also attract people who only value what you have, not who you are. The most successful people understand a simple truth. Wealth isn't built to impress strangers. It's built to create options, security, and peace of mind. The moment you stop depending on banks, landlords, and other people's approval, you begin gaining something that money alone can't buy: independence. Banks may respect your balance sheet. Salesmen may respect your spending power. Landlords may respect your income. But none of them truly define your worth.